Welcome to the Tone Jerks podcast. I'm your host, Brian Gower, and with me today we got
Kyle McIntyre.
Kyle McIntyre. He's got a little bit of that.
Yeah.
What were you saying? Is it the hay?
Cedar fever. Not hay fever.
Hay fever. No, hay fever. That's what I wanted to say, and I'm like, he's gonna correct me right away. Cedar fever.
Yeah, I guess I'm getting hit. I'm just super allergic to it. It's just like the cedar
technical
trees.
Term?
Yes, that is the
100%.
The Latin term.
Wink, double wink.
Yeah, so I was just coughing a little bit. It's really freaking annoying because it feels like I've been sick for like 3 months. Just like with the, not that I'm not really congested. I'm just coughing like I have a super dry throat. So
I just feel like shot.
Yeah, I just feel like shot.
It smells like shot.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to drink water and keep my throat moist.
That was
the cast today. Yeah. The action.
You spending a lot of time outside or no?
Oh, I did. Yeah, I did this past weekend. So.
See, that's what it'll get you. Nature.
I know. I'm an indoor kid. What am I doing, dude?
The indoor kids. See what you got to get. Do you have a fire pit in that place?
Mm-mm.
I got to get that going.
Not yet.
I was at my uncle's for a Christmas get together. And he's got just a little tiny fire pit. I'm like, oh man, I love the shit out of that. I love fire.
Oh, were we starting What's the News already?
I know. I'm talking about.
You know
I'm cutting in McFly.
Let's talk about that fire pit. Let's talk about what you do. What were you cooking? Were you just chatting?
No, it was just a fire pit just for the ambience.
Oh, with the glass in it.
I don't know. No, it's just
like the lava rock.
No, it's kind of similar. I mean, how you like. It was like probably years ago, maybe 10 years ago. I don't remember what it was. It was like garbage that you took from my dad, which was like the basket from a washing machine.
Yeah,
it was similar look to that.
Okay, so he's burning wood in there.
Oh yeah. Like it was a fire pit for wood. And I'm
okay, well the fire pits also could be a gas fire pit. You ever heard of one of those?
It's not that fancy. It's just that, and I'm like, right. I think it's got to be a move. You gotta get fire pit going. The ambience. The SLAMbiance.
Yeah. I'm just the SLAMbiance.
It's the SLAMbiance. Anyways.
I'm working on other things, but yeah, that would be cool.
You're like, okay, fine. Put it on the list.
Yeah. The very bottom of the list.
It'd be like a trash can, the list of things to do, just throw it in there.
Yeah.
But anyways, Kyle, what's new? What's new in your world? What's shaking? What's grooving? What is good? You were off last week.
Well, yeah.
Our boy RJ filled in.
Yeah, thanks RJ. So I went did like a little I don't know, Christmas trip, I guess, to my mom's house. So
yeah,
Carrie came in last weekend.
The wife.
Yeah, so she came in. She's been here about a week.
Nice.
I think it's been a week. Yeah, I don't know, man. With the end of the year always feels weird. I don't know if you have the same feeling where it's like after Christmas, it feels like it should be like the end of the year, but then there's like another week and a half, Or is it another week and a half? It's a week.
I think it's exactly a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it feels like 7 months. So, anyways, we decided that we would. I think I've talked about it before. Driving up to my mom's house is kind of a chore.
Yeah.
And so naturally decided to do it again.
Mm-hmm. Here we go.
I thought like all the kids were gonna be able to gather up there. So it's like my sister said she was gonna go for Christmas. My brother, he was driving. My older brother, Clay, said he was driving down from Tennessee and he's gonna be there on the weekend too. So I'm like, oh, perfect. We can all just go up there, we hang out, and then he was going to make his way down here anyways, just to visit everyone else. But I'm like, okay, we can all just meet up there. And so he didn't come, and then my sister didn't go. So just my brother and I and Carrie that had driven up there.
Yeah.
So whatever, it's still fun. Got to see my mom. Got to see my grandpa. I went and picked up I'm going to say this. Maybe I shouldn't. I am holding on to a firearm that my mom bought for someone that I bought. Let's say. Yeah. It's something I'm going to get. Anyways, I got it. We were shooting it. We went shooting up there. I brought some guns because my mom's got some property up there. She's got like 16 or 14 or 16 acres or something.
Mm-hmm.
We totally destroyed the targets that they had just bought, actually.
Yeah,
because I guess the rifles were just punching through the steel, so they're just like obliterated.
And you're just like a real dead eye.
Yeah, well, it was destroying these things, and they're like steel that's like 3/8 inch or a 1/4 inch or whatever, and it's just like blasting holes through it, and it should have stopped it, but can't hold me back.
I'm just too good.
So
this felt like blessing these targets.
Yeah. God bless. Not God bless, but it's God bless.
God
bless these targets. It was cool. Actually, Hamza was driving through.
Oh, nice.
That part of Texas, so he stayed like the whole weekend pretty much. He came in on Friday night, stayed all of Saturday, and left like Sunday midday. So, or like maybe morning, I guess. But it's pretty cool. He has his big rig.
Yeah,
driving through there, hauling some car parts. We brought the kittens with us.
Yeah.
So they did not initially travel too well. One of them was just whining like a little baby. Jeez. Yeah. I don't know if you ever transported. I mean, you definitely have. I remember your little wiener dog, Herman, would whine.
Oh yeah. He was never. He hated the car.
Yeah.
Well, because every time I would only drive him in his little carrier because I'm like, he was just gonna fucking go all over the place. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And every time he was in the carrier, he knew he was going to the vet.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Dang.
And then so he was like, I don't like this. And then
go.
No, I remember when I was a kid and we moved from one house to another. We had a cat and we didn't have a carrier. So we're like, how are we going to
throw him in there?
No, we put her in like a box that had like some holes in it or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it was like, but the top was like cut open. I'm like, okay, what are we going to do? So we kind of like put a t-shirt over the top of it and we had some holes in the bottom because it was like a box that was like, you would store shit in.
Like a banker box?
Kind of, yeah. It was like, yeah, exactly. That's what it was. And so it had like holes so she could see and breathe and then put a shirt over the top so she doesn't get out of it. But she was just not having it. She was like clawing at the top. She was poking her head up and stuff like that, like a whack-a-mole. She was not having it. Like it was like, 20-minute or 10-minute drive. She was fucking not having that shit. So
what you do is just get a towel and roll them up in it and have their head poking out of it.
Like a little burrito. That's what you got to do.
That's what I do when I drive these guys off.
No.
Yeah, I just roll them up in it, and
they can't do anything.
They're just doing the little deep meow, like they're fucking pissed off. You're like, you know what? You're drying off in there. You want them to shiver to death?
Yeah,
I'll let you die. No. So we took them.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like they would be too into it. You couldn't just leave them? Or how long were you gone for?
I was gone for like 3 days.
Okay, yeah.
Left like Friday, like midday. Came back like super late Sunday. So pretty long days.
Well,
I don't know.
They're not cats. Cats, you could probably leave for that long, right?
Yeah, cats will be fine.
But I guess
they'll munch on their food. These guys will be like, oh, food, gone, dead.
Really? Yeah, cats are not grazing animals. You really shouldn't just leave a shit ton of food. But I've done it before.
Yeah.
They're like Maxwell was a fat fucking cat. He's like, you know what?
This is all mine.
Yeah. I'm gonna eat I'm gonna eat all this and just shit.
Yeah. All over the place. So initially was it Phoebe was freaking out.
Yeah.
But then she calmed down once she realized like you can't change what's going on. Like, and then it's like a 6-hour drive, I guess. But we stopped a couple times just to make sure they would. Yeah, we stopped a couple times to make sure they would use the bathroom. You know, because it's probably uncomfortable to take a shit while you're in a moving vehicle and you're like you weigh 3 pounds, so every force is like you're just like, you're trying to stand still and. Anyways, not fun. Also, when they're taking a shit and you're just smelling it while it's like wafting through the air of that
Yeah.
Crown Vic, but that was cool. Well, actually kind of sucked. But we got a new like cat carrier for him, which is like pretty big. It's like I don't know, like the bench seat in the back, it takes up like 2 of the seats. So they were able to wander around in there, and they weren't confined to a super small area. And when they grow up, we'll probably use it again when we drive around, if we ever do. But
you just have your sister watch them, right?
Yeah, I was thinking her husband does not like cats, so I'm like, I don't.
Fuck him.
Not that he's gonna like stomp them or like kick them or whatever, but respect the house. Don't, if he doesn't want cats there, then anyways. But yeah, the trip took forever getting there, with traffic and everything, and then the trip home was a pain in the ass, actually.
How so?
So, well, I'm a nice guy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a nice guy. I helping your dad out, picked up some wheels for him.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it was a little bit of a drive outside of my. Basically, it's added like 2 hours to the drive.
Yeah. So it's like California and Texas are probably similar to where people think, oh well, you're already there.
Yeah.
So what?
You're in California.
No, fucking like, yeah, my dad will do that for sure. Like my sister's boyfriend, he's got a big old truck. He's like, oh, can you pick up this front end?
Yeah,
and then
I'll pay you for it. Don't worry
I'll pay you for it.
I'll handle the easy stuff.
And then you store it for 3 or 4 months.
Oh,
and then anyway, so I'm like, this is heavy. I'm like, I guess Kevin is really strong, but how did he move this? And I could almost guarantee Nicole did not help.
Yeah.
So he had to have taken
knowing your sister,
knowing my sister, because I've known her.
Yeah.
She's
doesn't get her hands dirty.
A hard worker in other ways. But definitely like lifting a greasy front end of a truck or no, a car. She's not going to lift that out of a truck. She's like, no, Kevin, you got this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is heavy as fuck. But anyways, so my dad will put people to work. It's like, oh, well, this is close. I'm sure Kevin drove like an hour and a half, 2 hours out of his way to go get it. It's like, yeah, it's really close to you. Yeah, it's like only that far off the map, right?
Yeah, that's only a 1/4 inch away from you when you zoom out
an inch away. It's an inch away from you. What's the fucking deal?
Google Earth that looks like so
Thomas Brothers. It's only that far away. What page are you looking at?
The Earth.
Yeah. Google Earth.
So yeah, bit of a drive.
Yeah.
You look at the map and you go, oh, it's just this far off, but it was like so many freeway changes.
Yeah.
And then it put us so far off of like the actual path. Like you have your freeway, right? You have your freeway and you cross over it, and then it's not going to have you double back to the freeway. It's going to have you just go straight down to your house. So we were on side roads for like 4 or 5 hours of that the rest of the day. Because we were just we were so far from the freeway. It's like we would have been having to drive another hour to the freeway.
Oh, Jesus.
And then back
down.
down.
Just a pain in the ass.
Yeah, but I got them. We got the wheels. They're good condition. They're what
secure the bag.
Yes. Yeah, well, it was a definitely, yeah. It just turned a day into like, I don't know, a super long.
A whole day.
Yeah, it just turned it into something that didn't have to really happen.
Yeah.
My brother's like, I was talking about, okay, well, this is where we're going. It's south of Dallas. He's like, dude, he was like, he's offered himself up like an offering. He's like, I'll just come back up here and I'll get it on my way through. I'll just talk to this guy. I'll get it. Let's just do that. I don't want to do this. Mm-hmm. Like everyone's like, please don't do it. I'm like, I already said it would.
This is for Dan. It's bigger than all of us.
No, just not to say like, I would do a lot of things for Dan, right? But it was just like, man, this is gonna really hamper the trip. But I already talked to the guy, so I was gonna be there. I don't want to back out.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
well, no, yeah, he'll definitely look at things like the position. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll save some money on shipping. Like shipping is gonna be like what, $150.
Yeah. I'm
like, how much more time you spent and driving?
Yeah, not to mention, the gas, the time, I'm still fucking tired because it was like it turned a 5.5 to 6 hour drive into probably like a 7 or 8. So just added, just because it was like side roads the whole time, and it was night, so it's like I could have left at 7 in the morning and probably made it home fine, right? But because we were visiting with family still, so it's like, oh well, it'll be fine. And then I'm looking at the clock, I'm like, well, we should probably hit the road if we're gonna, So
we got other shit to do.
Yeah, so I'm still recovering from that, but
yeah.
Overall,
how was Christmas?
It was good. It was good.
I was hitting you up. What was the spread like over there?
The spread, it wasn't anything crazy. My mom made like a big ham, and then she had salads and stuff to go with it. But then, I was actually stoked on the sandwiches. So she had like put out like really nice turkey and
Subway clubs and stuff.
Yeah, she went. She catered
cold cut combos. Got one of those big Subway
catered.
She got one of those big subs, and they didn't cut it up.
It's all for me.
You just cut it in half. I'm like, all right, this is my piece.
What did you get?
You're
No, so it was good meats and good cheeses and stuff, and so throw that ham on there that she was cooking. It was great. You
were saying that also had turkey, right?
Turkey no, that was like turkey sandwich, dude.
Oh, turkey sandwich. Okay, gotcha. So I'm like, some people do turkey and ham, and then turkey is a big one for Christmas, and then ham's a big one for Christmas.
Stack that sandwich, dude.
Yeah. So I'm always thinking,
no one should have been eating that sandwich. I'm just telling you how tall that thing was.
Yeah. Like a Scooby-Doo sandwich.
Yeah. With toothpick and olives. And...
Ooh. Yeah. I was thinking of like, I think for the longest time, like my family has done prime rib for Christmas.
Why?
I don't know. It's great. That's a tradition. And then Easter is ham, right? Then do you have any other like food traditions for like get-togethers or holidays?
They do.
We do chili on Halloween.
What? Just do chili every night?
No, I mean you can, but like Halloween is chili.
Do they when they get together? They being a lot of people in my family, they do gumbo, and it is hit or miss. Basically, it's like
we've done this. I still don't know. It's gumbo versus jambalaya. They're
different.
Okay.
So jambalaya is like a rice, dish. Right?
Okay,
rice
so it's not as
dish.
Like and then gumbo is
like a soup,
more soupy,
like a stew. Yeah,
because I've never had gumbo. I guess
you can still have those things in it, but it tastes different. It's like different spices,
a lot more liquidy.
Yeah, and man, sometimes it's like
more liquid.
The choice of foods in the gumbo. It's up to the person making it. Like, oh yeah, well I fucking have this laying around the kitchen, some fucking dried ass bay shrimp. Just dump that in there.
Here's some fucking chicken feet. Throw that in there.
No, my let's see, someone put in oysters.
Mm-hmm.
I've had twice. It's disgusting, like canned oysters.
Okay.
So someone who's older may not know that the oysters smell and taste like shit out of a can. They're like, which
you're like, I mean, somebody should.
I don't want to offend anybody in my family. They won't listen to this, but yes,
if you do,
as you get older, you lose your sense of smell and certain things. Right, it fades a little bit. They must not known that it's like rot. It smells like it's rotten. Maybe that's just because it's canned and it's just disgusting. Like canned tuna tastes and smells different than regular tuna.
Yes, 100%. It's still good though. I like it.
Well, I like it drenched in fucking mayonnaise. Yeah, of course. Everything's good in mayonnaise.
Duh, you idiot. You think you're special?
Yeah. So.
Think you're a man of culture?
Yeah. Give me an extra scoop of that mayonnaise.
This is
just slather it on there.
Like a scoop of ice cream. Some of the.
Yeah, just like with the thumb thing. Like
just shit ton of it.
Well, they would do like at school, like school lunches. They serve like was it mashed potatoes like that? I'm like, that's for fucking ice cream.
Yeah,
they use that little like thumb.
Yeah, you gotta give me way more mashed potatoes than that, you dumbass.
Yeah, well, they scoop it and then they press it and then they dump
the gravy.
Dump the gravy on it. It's like some of the food at school was just disgusting. We put up with it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is a burger.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a burger I've ever tasted before. Like, where do you get your meat from?
Sometimes I would get the sandwiches that they would have, like in high school at least. They're okay. They'll get you through, but they're really like not that good.
Yeah.
I always think of like a buddy of ours. He was like, he had this idea that he was going to start like bulking up. He was always a really skinny kid. And he was like, oh, I'm going to start bulking up. And, he didn't do the working out part, but he's like, oh, I'm going to start bulking up by eating more. So he's like eating 2 lunches or whatever. And there's some other kids who are like, oh, I didn't bring any like lunch. I didn't bring any money. He's like, oh man, well, I can go get like chips or something. It's like, hey man, do you have a quarter? To like, our buddy who had 2 lunches. He's like, he pulls out a pocket full of change. He's like, I don't have a quarter, and puts it back in his pocket.
Yeah. He did that to me a couple times.
It's like this shit, like he does this shittiest bit, and I'm like, it's still pretty good. Oh, do you have a quarter? I don't have a quarter, and then puts it. I'm like, you're already, 100% you earned it or whatever, or your dad gave you the money or whatever. But he's eating 2 lunches. I'm like, oh, sometimes he'd be like, oh, I don't want the chips. I'm like, oh, dude, I'll take them.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
School lunches. We totally shifted gears.
Oh, no. When did you say, I totally missed, when do you have the gumbo?
They do it different. Just like if there's a bunch of people coming over, I'll make a gumbo.
Is it an Easter thing or no? It's just a get together?
It's just it could be Christmas. It could be Thanksgiving. It could be, it's like, oh, we're not doing turkey this year for Thanksgiving. We're doing gumbo. It's like, oh boy.
Oh, well, I might
better be fucking good.
My invitation got lost in the mail.
Yeah. Well, it's a turkey gumbo because it's Thanksgiving, and then it's a seafood gumbo because summertime.
And the meal is gumbo.
God.
Well, and then like my family, like I think it's I guess now it's probably 3 years in a row. Maybe 4 now. It's like we have a get together where it's like not on Christmas because everybody's doing their own thing, but like before Christmas,
we have their own thing.
Everybody's doing their own thing. We have a get together where we do the is it White Elephant?
White Elephant, yeah.
Or is it Bad Santa or something? Whatever.
White Elephant.
White Elephant, whatever. But that thing, it's like we have a gift. Everybody brings like gifts, like sub $20, sub 25.
Bad Santa's something different.
That's a movie for sure.
Yeah.
Which I've never seen.
Yeah.
Listen to Just Surprise Me. They say it's great. So I probably need to watch it.
Pass.
Pretty much, yeah. But I mean, pretty much all it is like, okay, everybody gets there. You bring for every guest that's going to participate, you have a $25 max of your gift. And then you just put them all in a row. You have a number count. And then you just go down the number of whoever. It's like, oh, number 1, you got to pick a gift, and then that's your gift. And then number 2 either gets to pick a new gift or steal from, the previous gifts as it goes on. And then we have pizza. So we've done that I think 4, maybe 5 years now. So it's a fun.
Pizza's delivered pizza.
Oh yeah, just get a shit ton of them. Shit ton of pies. Depends on where we're having it. I had a place in OB. In Point Loma this past time. I don't remember the name of it. It was good. Talking to my father, he was not too impressed.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's good. He's like, well, I don't know. So take it.
The man paying for the pie is probably not. Yeah.
Well, but yeah, just hanging out. It's like the cousins and stuff like that. And then, a bunch of people there. So it's like a house that's a pretty good size. Like, oh, it fills up with 20 people pretty quick.
Yeah.
But it's fun. So that's like a tradition that we have. And it's like, oh, is your tradition for Christmas to have pizza? I'm like, for that get together, yes. And there's nothing wrong with that. So, it could be, the gumbo. It could be no problem with that. Just like, here's a family get together, gumbo, boom, done.
It's been years, and sometimes you're just like, gives you diarrhea.
The gumbo?
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get another shot coming up, and you could see if it's going to be a good
gumbo or a bad gumbo.
Yeah. Does it get a thumbs up or down?
Well, then it's like
you just do that to your mom. You just give her like.
Well, and then it's like, well, what do we have for dinner? Like leftovers. Oh, there's gumbo in the fridge. Yeah, I just had the fucking butt runs. I'm not going back to that.
Fool me once.
That's the only thing that's the only thing that's available. Well, fuck. As a kid, you're like, I don't want that. I'm like a 12-year-old, kid. I want fucking, give me a bologna sandwich. I'll be probably happy with that.
Give me
cheese
hot
sandwich.
dogs.
Yeah.
Corn dogs,
like,
frozen pizza,
like,
something like that.
It's like caviar versus like Skittles. Like, which one do you think a kid's gonna choose?
Caviar. Honestly.
Yeah. But yeah, it was good having Hamza there. It's kind of cool because he had driven all the way from Arizona, and it's kind of cool to see him there. But yeah, that's my what's new. What do you got?
Let's see. So it was Christmas.
Besides the white elephant you already talked about and broke into my what's new.
I know.
We need to have some defined lines here.
You can't. Okay? No stepping over.
Yeah.
Well, it was like fun, the white elephant. I think I told like last year I got so anyways, last year there was like this beach, it's called like a beach bomb thing. That was the name of the product. It was a Bluetooth speaker, waterproof.
Okay.
Speaker, and all the grandparents and stuff like that. What is that? What is this thing? And I'm like, it's a Bluetooth speaker. What does that mean? Where do you plug it? Where do you put the CD? And I'm like, so, a grandfather got it last year, and so I just, I white elephant stole it from him because nobody knew what it was. I'm like, oh, this is great. So I use that one in the shower every day. So it was under $20 gift. I'm like, I use the shit out of it.
It's one of those type of speakers.
Ding, bink, wink. Yeah,
wink.
Waterproof. Okay. Take it easy.
Turn up the turbo bass.
Mm-hmm. It's totally fine. It's fine for listening. It's better than my phone, right? So I can just listen to podcasts or whatever. It's hard for me. I don't want to just. I guess I'm just saying it now. I'm like, I think I've said it before. I just don't like silence.
Yeah.
I don't mind being alone, but silence, I'm like almost never can just like do that. Just have nothing. And so I always am listening to something, and then even in the shower, I'm like, totally could just deal with, right? Not listening to something for 5 minutes or whatever, for having one of those long showers. How many times can you make that joke? Having something going. So even if it's just music or a podcast or something. So that was my last year's white elephant. I stole it from, my grandpa. And then this year, grandpa again got a Bluetooth speaker that was an RGB one. It was just lighting, light. And I'm like, okay, cool. And he's like, but it was called like, it's like, Bluetooth speaker pulsating. What's this pulsating? What is that? Oh my God, what is this thing? What did you get me? And it's like kind of like
it looks like a thermos or something.
Kind of, yeah. Like and it was just like and I'm like, he was like, I don't know what this is. What is pulsating? What is Bluetooth? And I'm like, and then so I took it from him, and he ended up getting like,
bastard! You can't let him have anything nice.
No, and so I ended up taking it from him. He got a blanket and hot chocolate. He was stoked. But it was just funny because he's like, you just like, you're like, cool, I got this thing I'll never fucking use. And so I took it from him. And so now I got another Bluetooth speaker. It's RGB, so fits the aesthetic. But
God, spread the wealth on some of that stuff,
dude. Sorry, you're not getting another Bluetooth speaker that he's like, it's just like
next year.
This is funny because he's like, I don't know what the fuck. He's like, I'm glad you like it because I don't know what the hell that thing was.
Yeah.
He said it again. What the hell is this thing? Where do you plug your phone? I'm like, no, it's all over Bluetooth. What is it? I'm like, you know what? Never mind.
Radio frequency.
Exactly. It's like a radio being sent to.
It's like radar.
Yeah. I don't know, like a couple of like little fun little things for Christmas. I got this. I showed you. I got this like SD card holder my sister got for me. It's like, I don't know, some type of metal on there. I'm sure I could look it up and see what it is.
It's aluminum.
Probably. Yeah. It's about maybe the size of like, a Ridge wallet, credit card. The Ridge. So it's pretty, slim. You fit 3 SD cards in here and some micro SDs. 2 of those guys.
Why can't you just put those in your pocket? I don't get why you
I don't want those clanking around.
Toss them in like some picks or some change, or all 3.
So, I
get destroyed.
I think I only have like 3 or maybe 4 USB mini or like mini SD cards or whatever. No, not USB. Mini SD cards and SD cards. And they're kind of all like all over the place. So some of them I use for video, some of them I use for the podcast, and then some of them are backups. So they're like maybe 16 gigs. So I'm like, in case I'm like, I needed that for like pictures or video or whatever. I haven't reached the limit of my SD card for video, but I say that and I'm probably going to now. But for the podcast, another one where I'm like 64 gigs, not even gotten close to that. But I just have like, it's like the belt suspenders kind of deal. Backups.
Yeah, you say that every fucking time. Keep going.
Yeah, you don't
belt
want your
suspenders mentality.
Exactly. You don't want your pants falling down. I know about you, Kyle. You like your pants hanging down.
Dude, I try not to.
I saw you leaving the room here.
Yeah.
But
so these shorts I'm wearing, they have an inner liner.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm also wearing underwear. So just they're fighting each other underneath these pants, right?
Yeah, like
one's trying to constrict more than the other.
Who's top dog there?
Yeah, so like sometimes they just slip down because it's like, you know, it's just
you want to show.
It's like putting pants on a bullfrog for me. You know, I have no ass, so it is a little bit of a fight. So thanks for noticing.
Yeah, I know. I was like, why aren't we streaming this? Get some more subs.
Get that ass on it.
But it's I don't know.
Get some more. What'd you say? Get some more subs or get some more simps? What'd you say?
Yeah, both. Get some more DOMs. But it's eventually I'm gonna get more SD cards and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool. Like I was like, this is like a nice little. It was like a little gift my sister got me. She's like, I have no idea what that is, but I'm glad you like it. And I'm like, I totally do. Got some whiskey. It was good Christmas.
What kind of whiskey?
Already forgot.
Really? So it's not your regular brand that you get?
Yeah, not Jack Daniels. No.
Oh.
I'm very fancy in my.
This one's Gentleman Jack.
Yeah, this is fancy. This is Honey Jack, so I can get diabetes.
The honey, yeah. Jeez. This is a fast track to diabetes.
Yeah. So I, recorded a video for the podcast last week with RJ, and it was just a video version of the podcast. And I had, for some reason, and I could not figure it out. It would not render the video properly. It was like a day late or whatever. It would not render. I'm like, I always do .mp4. And I'm like, do I? And I have like a little, saved, I think a note on my phone of like, this is the file size. And this is the, if I ever forget of like, how do I render this? Of like what I do. I'm like, okay, I do it. This are all the settings that I do. I'm like, nothing's different. I'm saving it. Okay. And then I'm like, okay, maybe I try .mov because that's an Apple thing. Still didn't work. Mm-hmm. And I tried it again. And then I was so pissed. And, cause, RJ's like, hey, when's the video coming out? I'm like, I'm fucking trying. Shut up. I'm trying. And so I was like getting to a point. I'm like, I was looking up on YouTube, obviously, like I'm trying to solve a problem. I'm like, okay, not you, and Google, whatever. I'm like, okay, what does Reddit have to say? And they're like, try this. I'm like, but at the very end, they're always like, well, you could always just start over again. I'm like, and if there's like 3 of them that say that, like,
record what you just did again?
No, just your editing session in Final Cut.
Oh,
just delete what you did and start over again. I'm like, well, I only had one cut, so I guess I'll just do that. So I did that, and it worked. There was no rhyme or reason why it didn't fucking work. I hate that shit.
Yeah.
You ever like working on something and it just doesn't work? So it's like, all right, just fucking start over again, and it does. I have no explanation.
Well,
all right.
We had today when we first jumped on, we had some technical difficulties. Mm-hmm. So it was like 45 minutes of us, maybe not that long, but it was quite a while working on it.
Yeah.
And it would send an audio. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for counting.
No, because I just looked at the clock. I'm like, oh, okay.
It was sending the audio, not to my headphones.
Yeah.
So like your audio, let's say from from Google, right? From Chrome.
Yeah.
It was sent to the onboard shitty mic or speaker on The monitor.
The monitor.
So
Why does it come with one?
And I could talk into my microphone, and you could hear me too.
Oh yeah, totally fine.
Just like I'm like right now, right?
Yeah.
But you sounded like you were in a fucking tin can, like 40 miles away. You're like, oh yeah, go ahead, try that again. Your voice is a little higher.
Yeah.
But so turn it off. Turn off the bunch of reset. Trying checking the focus right's right. Checking to make sure that the sound system, not sound system, but the sound settings are right.
Mm-hmm.
Turned off everything. Turned it back on. I did that once, right? Still, same thing. Sound tin can. Turn it off again. Turn it back on. Fucking worked.
Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason.
And we did a little tweaks on Focusrite, but they didn't change anything in this. Like, it's not like it magically turned on while we were. I don't know what it was, and probably because Microsoft fucking updated.
Yeah.
Windows 10. I still have Windows 10. I guess Windows 11's coming out, but they're like, let's put that half-baked update we've been talking about for 7 years in there that we could never quite figure out, but just dump it because this is the last update.
Let's get it out before the new year.
That way they'll fucking want to move over.
It's that's where they get you. The money,
dude.
Look here, we're trying to make money for Microsoft. Hello.
Yeah, I didn't even
we're not
know
about helping the people.
Out.
We're about money.
Yeah.
So it just same thing with the Final Cut. It just shit didn't work, and then it fucking did, and then it was fine. It exported or rendered the file fine.
Yeah.
Uploaded it, but they said it wasn't too bad, but it's just a bunch of bullshit, right?
Yeah, it pisses you off because you run through everything.
Well, and the thing is, I did nothing wrong, possibly, but I also did nothing right. Honestly, I did nothing, but just all right, delete that one and do it again, and it worked. Hopefully, this doesn't happen for a project that I'm is really time. That I a lot of cuts and
bunch
a lot
of cuts, fades, stuff like that.
And this one was just a cut in the middle where it's I think RJ went off screen for a minute or 30 seconds. I'm you just cut that out.
He took a fat dump, right?
No. he grabbed.
He went to go yell at the neighbor kids. That's what it was.
Shut
up, you little shit.
That's what Kyle does.
Yeah.
We on fucking vacation.
I just rolled. I don't know if you hear that. Crinkle the friggin' blinds and yell out my broken window that's in here.
Yeah.
I have a broken window. I just taped. I used window tape. Literally, it's a thing.
If you have a broken window, use window tape. There you go.
I got to figure out how much that's going to cost.
God.
You know what? Owning this house is really killing me. I got to
God damn it. Fuck. But, I mean, okay, video related. It was something that I think I've talked about, trying not to buy anything or whatever for, during the Black Friday to end of year sale, which is not Black Friday. It's going on in most sales
still going on.
Yeah, for most things, or at least digital things, as far as
digito.
Yeah, Waves plugins and UAD plugins, all that shit. Swore I wasn't really gonna buy anything, and this is one thing that I bought that wasn't on sale. It was just for sale. It was the
it's for sale. Oh wow!
I better buy it now.
100%. It's 100% normal price.
Yep, 0% off.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it was Peter McKinnon put out a new LUT pack. LUT stands for something. Don't remember what it is.
I've heard it before.
Yeah, it's basically think of your Instagram filters. This is way generalizing what it is. You just put that over your video or your photo, and it's all these settings of how it looks. He released I have his old LUT pack, which had 7 settings or so 7, 8, whatever, and this new one has 15 of them. So I still have the old one, and I have the new one, and so kind of just dumped one of those and used it on the video I did with RJ, and feedback I got. RJ was oh, this looks awesome. I'm all right. I did nothing to it, but just dump that thing in and just make the intensity 50%. And then that was it. The video done. And I did no lighting change. Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like it is, the pronunciation's actually lute, right? And it's Look up tables, possibly. Just saying.
Okay. Look up table. Yeah, no, that could be it. It
But
might not
it's
be
also a UK website, so they say it's pronounced loot, but they pronounce everything funny. So just keep rolling with that.
What did you say? Like, what does LUT stand for? Is that what you typed in? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
In photography.
So LUT stand for in photography, yeah.
Yeah.
Look up tables.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's like all your kind of like color correction or whatever you want it to do. It's like you could make it look like it's like more grainy and like or you can make it look like it's like noir, black and white kind of shit.
Yeah.
So I had one of those, and it's cool. I'm like, it was like $20 or something.
That's cool.
I'm basically paying just for like presets, so I don't have to learn how to do that shit, which I should.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. What are we gonna do? Come on.
You can still learn from doing that stuff. You can see how it affected your original work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So just dump that in there, and then just kind of, intensity to taste, and it's really cool. But now I'm gaining more of these LUTs that I've paid for, and I'm starting to, instead of have like 7, effects to choose from or presets, I now have like, almost 25, because now I had like other ones that I bought from another YouTuber. So it's like, I think I'm getting to option paralysis, that I'm like, I kind of
don't know what to use, or
what you were saying. It's like, oh, you can always learn. So now I actually need to learn what these things are doing, because I'm like, what am I looking for and looking at with these changes? I'm like, what can just maybe at a time crunch, I'm like, just dump it on there. If it looks fucking fine, let's go. Fucking god damn it.
As long as there's something there.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I mean, it was kind of like, I think this was probably one of the first projects that I actually used it on, and then I put it out, and I'm like, yeah, it looks good. All right, cool. So got some use out of my Peter McKinnon loot pack.
The UK. Just keep rolling with how you say it. I'm sure you're doing it right.
Loot.
They're doing it wrong.
But
loot. Give me the loot.
But yeah, so that was kind of my what's new. Kind of not a whole lot, but Christmas was here. I'm so glad it's over. So fucking glad. Working retail, I'm like, fuck, I'm so glad Christmas is over. But yeah, we're kind of in that lull between Christmas and New Year here, with New Year's, right? What was it? That was your bet. I was like, is it New Year or New Year's?
Yeah, I mean, seriously, what is it?
I mean, what's the name?
Yeah, seriously.
But
I'm confused as shit right now.
So I guess here's like kind of like a topic that's kind of like an easy just fucking layup or whatever. So end of the year, 2021, crazy year, right? Bad year, shithole year. The 1 year was bad, so it contained everything, and then next year is gonna be my year. But I mean, 2021, I was fine. I don't think it was overtly bad. I thought it was pretty tight. I don't know. I mean,
it's pretty good. So it's different.
You moved, so that was a big one.
Yeah, it's weird. Left my home, or born and raised in San Diego, and trying something new out here. So far, so good. It's not been like a easy ride, but it hasn't been that bad. You know?
So. I mean, it could also be just like the mindset. Something either one of us, even though we talk shit, bitch about stuff on the podcast, it's like, actually not that negative. At least I definitely used to be when I was younger. I was just always like, the glass always half full or full of shit or whatever kind of mentality. Full of piss. That'd be my pass.
That'd be my pass.
My pass. I talked about it, the In-Betweeners, and watching that again. That scene where he switches shoes with the
tramp.
Yeah, the tramp, I guess.
The homeless person.
The guy who's experiencing homelessness. He like switches shoes, and he's like, he puts his foot in the shoe, the loafer, and there's a hole on the bottom, kind of where the pinky toe is. Piss just shoots out of it. Like it's a gun. And he's like, what's that spell? That'd be my pass.
That'd be my pass.
It shoots out. I'm like, that is disgusting. Because I maybe never paid attention to that scene or whatever. Anyways, but 2021 was all right. That was pretty good. For the podcast, at least, I think we did something that we said we were going to do. We finally did it. I'm going to get back on track for next year. It's like doing video. We're working this out. We got this. We're going to get back to doing video for the podcast. And it really isn't, well, when Final Cut works, it's not that big, not that difficult to do. When that piece of shit fucking works, and when Windows 10 fucking works,
fuck that.
It's not that big a deal. It's not that hard to do this. You know, you moved, and we're still we never stopped doing the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're making it happen. I'm like, oh, get back to doing video, and I got a lot of like. I don't think. Yeah, I think doing this is gonna be totally fine. So I think maybe moving my camera a little bit more to the center of my, desk might be a little bit easier. But yeah, so far so good. So that was a big thing that we did.
Big goal.
Big thing that we did. Well, big thing that we did last year. And I think I don't know. Got good feedback. People do like it. I think so. Making that happen again is definitely jumping ahead, but that'll be a goal for 2022. Getting back to doing video podcasts. But yeah, trying to think of other things for this past year. I think I speak for myself, but I made more strides to do YouTube content and like learn more about my camera this past year. So I think it was this same year that at the beginning of it when I was doing videos, or maybe that was the end of last year, I had no idea about a lot of the settings on my camera, like frame rate. Fuck is that? ISO. I was confusing that for color temperature. So my ISO was just fucking flipped up. So basically, like, you couldn't see all the fucking nasty grains on my face or whatever because like the ISO was so blown out that I'm like, man, I look great on this camera. And then I saw it, I'm like, and when I fixed it, I'm like, oh man, yeah, nope, that's me. And this camera is actually really good. But I would say that was a big thing this past year. And you moved. You got, I think, all in 1 year. You moved out to Texas, but you also got the house, right? Yeah. Oh.
So yeah, those were big changes in my life. I would say smaller things are that I'm kind of that I would say proud of, but just things that I accomplished was I've gotten better at recording myself, and working in the DAW and just kind of learning it better and just kind of utilizing it more, and making it sound better. And not that anything I'm making is like fucking, soundtrack worthy for, Hans Zimmer's, and I'm like, oh, what's that? Let me pick that shit up.
But you have like a catalog to look back on, even just from beginning of the year or last year, because you don't really delete some of the demos, right?
No, I keep pretty much everything,
and you can tell the difference between what you've done.
Yeah, I can tell like, oh, this has way more depth or way more, because I'm adding different, trying to fill frequencies and trying to not just make it all sound, just and I think before I was trying to fit into something. Now I'm just kind of trying to make my own thing, if that makes sense. I was trying to, this is the sound I'm going for, and then it's like, well, I'm just gonna whatever sounds good kind of situation.
It's like you're trying to make it sound the best that you can, not to like sound like something else. Is that correct?
Yeah, and I think that goes along with learning how to do something. And sometimes it's like, oh, well, sometimes people play Green Day before they play their own songs, before they're a cover band before they're, and that's kind of the same situation where I was like, oh, what sound is that synth is being made? Oh, let me try and find that. And then now it's kind of like, well, I'll come across it if it sounds good. It's like, which I still kind of do that. Like, well, what the hell is that sound? And, what kind of, I don't know, because it's kind of a mystery on some of the things that are added in these songs. It's like, well, those could be 3 different synths put together on one, with the same note. I'm trying to dissect and figure out what was made. And so you hear like, oh, a bell with an organ and a synth in the lower register. It makes a really cool. I'm like, okay, well, that's
would you say
what
that
I'm trying to find.
You found, are you actively trying to go out and find more? Less about the composition of your song, which is important, right? Yeah. And what you're doing, but of like mixing the song and trying to get like this sounds that you recorded to work together? Have you been kind of like looking at videos to do that, or are you just kind of on your own? I'm like, okay,
just on my own. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would say more. I've never looked up anything on that. I just kind of, which I probably should, but because I'm sure it's easier just to like hear what someone else has done and then, well, that makes sense. But I think,
sorry.
No, but no, I kind of just, I have these 2 guitar tracks. I think I'll go left and right with them and see how they sound. Oh, well, they sound like shit. So, or maybe they're too loud now, or maybe they're overpowering. So I'll dip them. So it's kind of, I'm sure there's a formula that someone has already worked out, and I probably should.
It's not, like you said about the loot thing. Just if you were given that either template or the idea, it's not that you're like being told what to do or that you can't learn from it. And that might be something, like we're going to get to in a second here, which we've already kind of dipped into. Like for you, I'm like, okay, you're doing a lot on your own. Maybe even just like watching videos on mixing or how like frequencies work and stuff like that, and some of the other plugins that maybe you're not utilizing as much, or you are, but you can learn different ways of doing
wrong.
it.
Yeah,
not even wrong or right, with music and stuff like that. But you've like, you don't need more plugins, right? Or you might not need to because the ones that you have, I'm not sure with reason, but like with Pro Tools and all the fucking other DAWs, it comes with a shit ton, right? You could probably, I need a compressor that does this kind of thing. I need more of a limiter or whatever. You can see with your own mixes, like, you might be able to learn more and that's like a fun part because you'll be able to like, instantly, like not instantly, but like as you learn, you're going to get better and you can hear the difference, especially with your songs that you're doing. The fact that you can change the tones so much because it's MIDI, a lot of the stuff. Yeah. And then, you're recording some things DI. I'm like, you can change it. I'm like, maybe I don't need this, super clean bass. Maybe I need more of a distorted kind of thing. So learning how like different styles mix. And I know what I'm doing and focusing on is different than what you are, but I would assume that there's a lot of YouTubers or like, similar types of videos of like how to mix, how to do your own thing for said genre.
Yeah.
And there's not a whole lot of like pop punk ones, but it's a heavy guitar and, drums that you want just, cut through the mix or whatever. So it's going through like hardcore music or metal and stuff like that, and taking some of those things and using them for whatever genres. For me, it's pop punk or whatever, rock. So I'm sure there's a lot for retrowave.
Yeah.
Okay. I always like what you're playing
that's kind of
is more retrowave, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you also are doing the punk and rock stuff, so that sounds so like
you're doing that punk rock stuff.
That punk rock stuff that you do. But yeah, I mean that could be something too of going into the new year. It's like not buying anything more, but investing your time and like, okay, maybe watching some of the YouTube videos, which are more boring than some of the other things you could watch on YouTube.
I'm more of a doer than a studier,
Yeah. And even
I will start this. I'll study when I find myself in a corner, you know, like what the hell, because I like to solve puzzles.
Yeah,
I think that's probably part of it. It's like, what the fuck? This is, I'll get to the point where I'm like pissed off, and I'm like, all right, let me just see if someone else has come across this thing. Not just with music, right, but with other things.
Yeah, for like probably like.
That's how you change the fucking wiper blades on this fucking piece of shit. Fuck the engineer who made this. Yes, that's kind of like that stuff.
I'm totally like that. But I think with some of the way that YouTube is nowadays, it's almost like infotainment. Yeah. Like I'm getting entertained while I'm learning some information. If it sticks in my fucking dumbass brain here, but yeah, that could be something. But you're already like on the track of doing it on your own. But watching some of these other things or reading up on it could be like like, oh damn, I was already getting there, but like they just tell me, I'm like, fuck. Well, now I can move on to the next thing. But yeah, so I think that was kind of the look at the past year here. But I mean, do you have? And this is like where the hack thing comes in.
What? What are you thankful for?
No, yeah, we should have done that one for Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
this is it. Here it is. The people can see it a mile away. Goals for 2022. Yeah. Dang. So I mean, we kind of already said some of it. I mean, and these are easily, even if you don't get like, there's not an attainable goal, but just like working on it. It's like we want to work on music, and I think I projected onto you stuff that I want to do as well. I want to get better at mixing.
Yeah.
And the only way I'm going to do it is by doing it. So I'm going to take the tracks that we recorded with Just In Case. They're all, get all the dry ones, or pretty much like take the tracks from Brian. He already has his copy. I'm going to delete every plugin and setting that he has.
Dang.
I just have just the raw ones, and I want to try and get it my own mix.
Yeah.
Not to say not going to release it, or maybe that could be something.
You know what? I'll put my hat in the running. Send it to me too.
Yeah,
bitch.
I can send you the raw ones. No, good. I'm just sending you the waves.
Yeah.
Brian's probably like, no. I think he's got it.
Don't send that fucking asshole.
No, because it's not like it's not like master tapes or anything. I can send it to you, and maybe that's something we could do on the show. We can have Brian's mix, which is released for Roll with the Punches, which I think he did a killer job.
That'd be kind of cool, yeah.
And then you and I can figure it out.
Yeah.
And
we see whose is not that whose is better, but whose sounds different. Or
I may cheat and ask Brian's. No, we both should just ask Brian. Like, oh, what do you did for this part? But I should maybe I'll get it, and I'll just delete all the plugins and all the settings that he had, all the pans and everything. Just make everything dead center, everything dead zero, and so we have to bring everything up. That could be fun because I want to get better at it, and he learned just by watching YouTube and by doing it. He doesn't have the best speakers either. So it's not like you're like, I'm Atom Audios or Focals or whatever. Or whatever. Yeah. No, not Focals, whatever. The really expensive, like $8,000 per speaker. He's not doing it on that. He's got KRK Rockets, and he's got a PC, sound system sub.
Yeah.
He's doing it on that. I'm like, nice. Okay, he can make that happen. I'm like, fuck. And then we can do it. So, okay. So that's kind of like a goal for me. It's like, I want to get better at that. But not to step on you, but what about you? Get that truck going, right?
Yeah, I have that listed. I want to work on the truck some more. I want to get it safe and sound to make some trips. Yeah,
you got to get my dad's wheels over here.
I was thinking I would just ship those things. They're not that heavy. They're just aluminum.
Aluminium.
But, or whatever. He doesn't need them right away. The thing's rolling right now. They were a nice set of wheels.
Yeah.
2, by the way.
Nice set of wheels you got there.
I think you need 4 on a car these days.
Yeah.
So I don't know where he's getting those other 2.
It's overrated.
But yeah. So I guess with the truck, I'd like to work on the transmission issue.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to, maybe do some. I think I want to lift it, not like super high, right? But I want to get it in a good height. Upgrade some of the components on there. Obviously, fix the things that need to get fixed. Do brakes. Do suspension. To upgrade things that are probably going to fall apart soon. But damn, dude, was gone all weekend. Came back, started right up this morning.
There you go.
No problem. After I fixed that electrical issue, just do stuff like that. Like just I guess what was it? What do they call that? Anyways, just make it better, and safe. But I guess I have projects around the house I need to work on. Like I have a fence that's falling over, right?
Yeah.
It's like freaking like zigzaggy, and need to get that. I need to get a freaking lawnmower, or just get a weed eater or something just to knock down the grass.
Mm-hmm.
Just simple things, but
home
they
improvement kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it just costs some money though. So that's another thing. It's just kind of
money and time.
Yeah, that's another. I don't know. I would like to, and probably won't happen for a while, but it'd be kind of cool to be self-employed. This is kind of a big one that I was thinking of. Just like do something that one will make enough money, be reliable, bring income in, and just something where I don't have my own, or I'm my own boss. Which would be kind of sick to do. And
Twitch streamer, dude.
Was it Twitch streamer?
Like Dr. D.
Chatterbait streamer, dude.
Yeah, there you go.
That's really taking your work into your own hands,
Oh, thanks, Dad. Your dad does that? What's his username?
OnlyFans dad.
Only Dan's.
Only. So
you said that right for a shirt.
Yeah.
I should make like
Only Dan's.
a posterized like cartoon version or whatever. My dad, and then just have it say Only Dan's.
Only Dan's is the OnlyFans logo.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty good.
He wouldn't be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
It'd be good. No, so me and my brother were trying to work out something that would be like low entry and I don't know. We're just thinking of things that could be extra.
Do you have any ideas, or are you not going to mention?
Yeah. No, I mean, whatever. It'd be kind of cool. So I have this truck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Want to haul stuff, just like what they call it, hot shotting. So like someone calls you up, says they need their tractor moved from wherever to wherever, and you just all right, pick it up and you drop it off there, and they pay you $300-$400. Could be done on the weekend, whatever.
Yeah.
So. I'm sure there's things that go into with DOT, and insurance and stuff like that. But I think getting into it probably right off the bat, you might not have to do that. See if you even want to do it. But obviously, you want to make sure that tractor's insured, doesn't roll off the back of the truck while you're driving.
Yeah.
So you want to be legit, right? So there's that.
Just moonlighting as a as a delivery driver.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool to do that just on the weekends,
a hauler,
right? So,
or whatever. I guess what you call.
Hamza called it hot shotting. So there's like, you have your guys that drive trucks, right? That drive, and he called that pickup, because pickup trucks hauling like trailers and stuff. They call those hot shotters.
Yeah. Driver for my work, what he'll do is, because he's going from, kind of LA, city of industry, to San Diego. So sometimes he'll be done. And then there's apps that you can do for hauling shit. He owns his box truck.
Oh,
so he'll go
cool.
and he'll pick shit up.
He's owner operator.
Yeah. So he's going to go. He's like, it could be $200, but I'm like, I'm going that way anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like,
fill the tank at least, Yeah.
So he's like, all right, I'm already here. So you can just do that. And it's like, oh, some guys do that, like, for 5 different days, 5 different trips throughout the day, plus their local, their delivery that they're doing. It's like, you can make good money. He'll also say like, it also can suck depending on where you're going. It's like, oh, you're picking it up here, but you got to drive it all the way fucking there. I'm like, my house is here. It's like, fuck.
Yeah, then you got to drive all the way back. Yeah.
Yeah. So
he's without an empty load. Yeah.
Yeah. So it can be pretty cool, but it's also like, he's like, oh, you just got to be strategic about it. So I could ask him what the app is. Maybe they have it over there, where it's like you're just picking up shit.
Yeah, I would be down to do that kind of stuff. It might be kind of cool. Another thing we were talking about is doing like pressure washing stuff, dude. Like stuff that people need, but the buy-in is kind of up there to get the equipment. But once you're set, man, you're, I don't know, just stuff like that.
Oh, and you can just haul that with the truck, right?
Yeah, and you just have the trailer set up, and you can have the trailer already everything ready to go. You could drop that trailer, grab something else. Another thing he was talking about, my brother, which he has a friend who does dump trailers. Right, so he'll dump a trailer. He'll take a trailer to like a work site or like someone's house. They're clearing stuff out, drop it off. He'll grab his other one, take it somewhere else, and then it's like it pays for itself, and you don't have to do any work. All you do is dump it at the dump.
Yeah.
So you're like I don't know. It's kind of cool. Those trailers are really fucking expensive, though. I was looking at it. I'm like, yeah, Cameron, this is really cheap buy-in. It's like $9,000, $10,000 for that trailer.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that like
small.
Yeah, you could always just look at that as like supplemental income. Sort of like, okay, maybe if you get to a point where that's like that pays the mortgage.
Yeah,
that pays insurance and and like, and so your job still is doing whatever can help save or whatever. I like that. So
that's a goal, is look into more of that and see if smaller, just have income and more income. It's not that I'm like suffering or anything like but it'd be nice to, and then maybe transition out of this job later on. So just,
or even doing, this is me just projecting, like doing that as part-time, and you can have this on, maybe as the gig that you do. So you're not, if you like doing that, whatever. So you have more time to do what you want.
even though I bitched about driving, I do like it. It just was a pain in the ass.
Well, I say that because I have a similar idea or a goal, at least to get started in that direction. Is I would love to get more, and I mentioned it a bunch, like watch more of that. No, I would like to get more into guitar setup and working on guitars and fixing them, guitar tech. And I'm like, I like doing it. I'm not that great at it, and I can say I'm good. Okay, that maybe I'm good. The good, okay,
Yeah.
But I would love to be great because there are people just in San Diego that are great. And I'm like, and there's a huge difference, and I noticed that there's a difference. So there's that threshold. I'm like, what do they do to get there? And I had mentioned, I'm like, pickup changes. I haven't done one in probably over a decade. I'm like,
yeah.
I need to get into that. So I want to, get a soldering station. I want to start doing my own pickup changes. I want to get comfortable fucking around on my guitars and, getting them great. And so it could entail like buying a Squire or something like that and working it on it. And then, getting some tools. And then I'm like, okay, I want to do a lot of this stuff, and who knows? And I know that it's just starting a business and getting in the insurance and stuff like that. But, could start maybe working on friends' guitars, which I've already kind of done in the past, but actually like doing a better job. Because mainly they pay me like, oh, just give me the $20, or they'll pay me like, oh, 6-pack of beer and $20. I'm like, cool. That's great.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm like, oh, it could be like, okay, hard stance, $25 just for friends. And then start getting more, start doing that for people. Who knows? But I got to get good first. Better than I am. Get good. Yeah, that sounds dumb. But I would love to do that. I would like guitar setups, and just talking to Andrew, he was doing that for some, before he moved. Andrew's Alcove. He's like, really, just you got to just do it.
Yeah, that's the only way you're going to learn, and from mistakes. And not that I'm like, oh, I know exactly what I'm talking about. No, I just know that you're thorough with things that you do. So
I would love to do like fret dress and clean. Yeah.
And you're like your own worst critic also. So like you would probably like do it and go, that sucks. Let me do it again. Let me do it right. Not that you like, your worst character flaw, Brian, is you just work too damn hard.
Maybe
I expect to be compensated for it.
Maybe I work too hard, but I would love to do that. And then, this is like the same thing with you. I'm like, a pipe dream maybe, but I'm like, oh man, I would love to work my job part-time. Yeah. And then just do that part-time. Yeah. And then that, requires, investment in the tools, in the space and stuff like that. But I'm like, I would love to get into that. And this is another one. I know very little about this, but it intrigues the shit out of me. I would love to do amp repair, amp tech. And I know, I already know the first rule is like, you have to have a healthy respect for electricity.
Yeah.
And those amps can pack a wall up. So nothing right now, but eventually down the line, I would love to get into that.
Yeah. And have you thought about doing, go ahead.
Well, and then we have people that we can always, hit up about like tips and what to do and what to learn, or like the path of learning and stuff like that. It's like in the field of like, building amps and repairing amps and stuff like that. And that would be something I'm like, oh man, it might not be a 22 deal with the amps, but it could be. I need to get in that way of just working on guitars, working on pedals, and working on amps. And the pedals is just kind of like a step of just, I need to get comfortable with soldering and stuff like that. But one pedal, I can probably do more, and then just give them away. Like I said, I don't want to keep a bunch of shit, so I'll probably start building pedals and just giving them away. So
yeah, we're gonna turn your room into a workshop or something.
Yeah, I'll just put it right next to my bed on the floor.
Yeah,
I need to get something like a table that flips from a workbench to like table upside down, and then I got a bed. But
just put it near that window so you can get all that solder out of there.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I got a couple ideas. I don't know. I got some ideas, and it's like this is what I want to do. If I get to that point, who knows? And then, like, this is what we're just talking about. This is what would be rad, right?
Yeah.
I would love to do that. And to me, I'm like, and this is all just like, it's not unattainable to be able to work on guitars and amps.
Yeah. Some of those guys are, retiring or dying, there's probably a need for it, People have amps rotting in their garage or whatever,
Yeah. The dying part is
I'm so insensitive. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's just, older dudes, they as soon as they
it's something
retire,
that maybe
they die. I'm serious.
Yeah. If you think about it, we're all
65.
We're all going to be
65 and they
whoa, dude, my mind was blown.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that would be rad. I would love to do that. And I think I thought about doing that when we first started the podcast, or before we even started it. And I'm like, I would love to do this. I would love to get into it. And then I don't know, I got out of it. I don't know what it was. It was just like, I think the fact that it was just a barrier to entry. Yeah. And now I'm like, I want to get into it. I'm like, fuck it, I'll sell my fucking Jazzmaster to fucking start doing this shit. Just get the tools and get whatever. And then the thing is, people said, like, you don't got to do everything all at once. You don't got to buy the best tools. You don't got to buy the fucking, rent a space to do it. Just like fuck around, do it. And it's, with a lot of people, it's like,
well, the dude who routed out your, guitars was doing it out of his garage. It's not like he had a workshop, like in a space.
Yeah.
Like a paid space. It was just his house. So,
yeah. And he's still doing it out of there. He's done guitars for fucking Newfound Glory and all this fucking. I'm like, all right. Now that's a big. I mean, he had other gets that he mentioned. I don't remember them, but all I remember is Newfound Glory. But the fact that he's doing it, whatever. Yeah, you can do this out of your garage. You can do this out of your house, and there's a lot of people that do still. So, anyway, but yeah, I don't know. Those are good goals, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess like
I'm sure we'll have some more we can talk about.
Work out more and be less fat.
Yeah, shit. We should probably put those in there.
Put that first.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think that's kind of funny that different ways, but we kind of had the same goals. I mean, working on the house is different than what anything I had, but I'm like, the idea of like, supplemental income outside of what we do for our day jobs would be rad. And
yeah, it's a lot of work, right? But at least you'll have the financial stability that you're looking for. Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like either one of us are unstable.
No,
and obviously
I have like big bills now. I have like a house, so
yeah,
it'd be nice to, Anyways,
I got these cats. I got this house.
I'm not trying to brag too.
I don't know.
I'm the only motherfucker who owns a hough.
I don't know if you know, but I have like cats I gotta pay for, dude. Even you don't even know what that's like,
dude. Today, we're talking like this is our Patreon, by the way. We're like, bro.
Yeah. It's not like the podcast is ever that formal, though.
No, but I'm saying like the way we're jumping around a little bit here. But cats today, $300 at the vet.
What the fuck happened?
No, I just had to follow up shots and they got their rabies certificate. They gave us a freaking coin for each cat, like they could wear it around their neck or whatever. It's like rabies certificate. It's like, okay, cool. Did you charge me for that? I wasn't hoping to get this. I'll put this right on the fridge kind of situation. I'm glad they won't get rabies, but why'd you give me this coin?
Dude, I mean, I'm jumping around again too. So on Reddit of like, I'm not subbed to this one, but it pops up all the time. It's like oddly terrifying.
Oh yeah,
is the one. And there was one like a rabies, I don't know, infected fox was coming up to somebody's door. So it's all like kind of like it has like blood on its head or whatever.
Yeah,
kind of around the ear.
Something else attacked it or something, or
probably. And it's kind of just like stumbling, not even knowing that the person is there with the light on. And then it goes and it starts gnawing on the door jamb, and it starts just like chewing and biting at like the step. And the person has their door open, filming. I'm like, Why?
Yeah.
And like about a bunch of the first like comments are like, why are you got the door open? And then it's like gnawing, and then it sees that the door is open and it starts like trying to push its snout through, and it's like biting and just like nipping, and it's like chewing on the door, chewing on the like the what is it, the threshold?
Yeah.
And then people are saying like, you asked for that by opening the door and filming the fucking thing.
Yeah.
And it sucks because I'm like, at that point the thing's gonna be dead, but it's like, that's scary. And I'm like, you're pretty much like, here, wide open door, and have it look
by
at
my fucking leg.
Exactly. And like, obviously, like, could be concerned for it, and the people are saying like, at that point the thing's gonna die. So
yeah,
but I'm like, close the fucking door.
It's like
and it's like,
old
oh
Yeller
no,
at
it's
that point.
the fox. Like, you wouldn't want a fox in your house in the first place.
Yeah, those fuckers laugh, or they would not laugh, but they sound like crazy when they yip and stuff. When they dang.
But yeah,
they sound like they're laughing. Like,
you wouldn't want that. Yeah, you wouldn't want that thing in your house in the first place, and then you also wouldn't want one with rabies in your house. So why did you open the fucking door wide open? Wide open.
Wide open.
Anyways, we're getting off track here. Let's get out of here.
Let's go.
So, last podcast of the year. Thank you so much for tuning into the Tone Jerks podcast. Hope you had a great 2021. We got 2022 coming up. I'm sure
if you didn't know that.
Oh,
thanks, Brian.
Yeah.
We're skipping a year. We're like the fucking iPhone.
I had to just 2023. It's our year. The first day into January 2nd, I'm like, 2023 is gonna be my year.
Checks wrong. Yeah,
I already like write off the year like I fucked it up. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you like the Tone Jerks, you can follow along on social media. We have a Facebook group. We have a page like it, I guess. But go to the group. Yeah. Get in there. We're getting rowdy over there.
Spicy in that group.
Yeah. I'm swear to try and be more active. Holidays season been kicking my ass, but I'll be getting over there. Linked in the description of the podcast, or search the Tone Jerks, you'll find it. And then we have an Instagram at the Tone Jerks, posting cool shit on the reg over there. If you like what you hear, you can leave us a 5-star review on Spotify, or
only. Yeah, it won't let you leave anything else other than a 5-star,
or on Apple Music.
Yeah.
Or Apple Podcasts, I think it is. You can leave whatever star review you think we deserve, but you can rate us, and I think that does something. I don't know. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's 5
stars, and then you can leave 5 eggplants also after that.
Yeah, eggplant emojis. See if it posts that on Apple. But if you really like what you hear, you can help support the show on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. But if you double down for $2 a month, you get an extra episode every week. You get an RSS feed to you, and you get to put that in your favorite pod catcher, and you get to listen to the new episodes and all the back catalog of episodes that we have. And there are over 200 of those episodes. Way more than that, but still, we got a lot of bonus episodes over there. You get them every week. And just for the support, we wanted to give you a huge shout out, a sizable acknowledgement. Kyle,
got it right here.
You got a list for me?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you give it to...
We got it. All the air went out of the room. Yeah.
Plants are wilting. The guitar wilts.
Reverse. Like that's what the crash sound. Andrew Walsh from Andrew's Alcove and the Second Button Podcast. We have Abe Newman, Michael Newman, Nicholas Payson, Nicholas Ogburn, Doug King, Doug Christ from 37 Effects, Masters of the Cinematic Universe, and the Just Surprise Me Podcast. We also have Joe from Like My Pedals from the Just Surprise Me Podcast, and also Masters of the Cinematic Universe. We have Will
You're just barreling through the...
Dude, I'm fucking tired. I'm sorry, guys. Just, if you really want to hear your name read, just go back to last week's, or the week before, actually.
I read them last week, and I had, okay.
I didn't actually listen to it because I'm a busy guy. Fuck you. We have Will Lehue. Will Lehue from the Just Surprise Me Podcast. Also, Teletalks from YouTube and Instagram. That is RJ. He's been stepping in lately.
Yeah, we should have a soundboard like how Just Surprise Me does for the names, except it's all the names. You just push that and it reads the whole list.
Them all. Damn, that'd be
Kyle,
sick.
you're like, oh my God, is that possible?
One could only dream. No, I like reading the names. This is my thing. Jamie Davis.
It's the only reading I do all week.
Howie Feltersnatch, also known as Johnny Ray. Jason Fuzzmonger. Steve Mike from Hardly Human. Steve Rao from 60 Cycle Hum. Kevin E. Quits from E. Quits Guitars.
Fuck.
Co Schneider from the Flippin' Flippers podcast. And also, I talked to him recently. He's doing pretty good.
Yeah, he's got a new band. I guess it's not new. Band called Night Tides. They have a new song coming out. I don't know when, but he sent me like the version that was on their Dropbox. It is killer. It is really good. Check it out. Check out his band, Night Tides.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's doing Flippers anymore, but check out his band, Night Tides.
Yeah. Alvaro Viramontes. Can you stop interrupting me? Thank you.
Well, he got a
Brian
new sand.
Nutter. Brian Nutter from Nutter Guitars. Mel Chibson of Chibson Guitars. Sean Arbo from Arbo Guitars. No. Sean Arbo from Gun Street Wiring Shop.
Gunslinger.
Gunslinger.
That's what I think RJ says. Like, oh, it's Sean from Gunslinger. I'm like, you mean Gun Street? He's like, oh, shit.
Damn. Yeah. Sean Fahey. Sean Wright from Lollygagger Effects. Juan Ortiz from Tone Hungry Effects.
No.
Mike Oxbig.
Including Mike Oxbig. A lot of these guys, I think I'm going to be hitting up about like getting my soldering skills up. Like, if they have any tips and tricks or maybe pedal kits.
You know, Sean Wright. Sean Wright's got some opinions on that shit.
Well, he's also like, I think he's worked on amps before. I would assume so. I believe he's talked about it. It's like, he's amp tech and stuff like that. If I'm mistaken, other podcasts he's been on. But yeah, that's a guy I'm going to be bugging the shit out of. Sean's like, lose my number.
It'd be impossible not to lose his number, but for you to bug him. He's gonna be like, you're doing what? He's gonna be like, you're gonna you're gonna shoot your eye out.
You're gonna kill yourself.
Hugh G-Rection, followed by Izzy and Yet.
Speaking of shooting your eye out, Jesus.
Yeah. Zach Hale, Eric Merrow from Elm Effects, Scott Hamilton from the Effects Loop podcast.
Oh yeah.
Tim Nowick from Bardic Audio Devices, Jonathan Jeruzik from 12th Hour Devices, Tyler Rhines from Tyler KC Riffs, Matthew Fenslaw, Michael McVeigh, and Matthew Davis.
All right, cool. It was a little bit longer one.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, and we will see you see you next year.
Yeah. No, I like when people mess that up and they say "see you in a year." You promise? Fuck.
You fucking wanker.
Yeah, you make them sound like an idiot. They're like, "Oh, don't you mean next year?" Anyways, all right, let's get out of here.
All right, see ya. Bye.
Bye.